The scores, please. Madison Chock and Evan Bates from the United States of America have earned the...
All right, you guys, it's Kelly Commentates here. I am back from Boston. I have made the journey back home. It was a wild ride. I was hanging on by the seat of my pants, and I am just so excited to review everything with you. Today, we're going to go over the Ice Dance World's results. I'm going to go over the top 10 as well as some standouts in my opinion, my general thoughts about the event, and there will be 3 videos this time for Worlds. So there will be an ice dance video, a pairs video, and then I'm streaming live. I'm having my first channel guest. I'm going to be having Judy from Live to Skate Figure Skating and Travel on my channel. We're going to be reviewing the men's and women's events together this coming Saturday, April 5. And I believe it's either at 5 or 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. I think it'll be at 5:30. So please watch out for that. Join me and Judy. It's going to be very fun, and I can't wait to see you there. If you miss it, please go ahead and watch that recap afterwards. It will be available for you to review. So we're going to start with Ice Dance today, and I don't know why I'm starting with this event because it's possibly the most contentious in my opinion. But yes, I only went to the free dance on Saturday and I had very nice seats. I was in one of the more bottom rows and I could generally see pretty well, onto the ice. I was in one of the corners. So some of the dancers would, tend to kind of just pump near that area to kind of gain some speed, but still very cool to see, but since there are no jumps in ice dance, they weren't, a lot of times the skaters will do jumps in the corner of the rink, but I didn't really get to see that. It was mainly they were just pumping or gaining speed. I have to say, watching Ice Dance, because I had seen the men's short program and then the women's free program, before seeing any Ice Dance at all, it kind of paled in comparison excitement-wise. Now, that doesn't mean the audience wasn't extremely receptive and excited, so that's not what I mean by that, but it didn't have the same pizzazz as the other events, and I think because the scores are kind of hard to follow, more casual skating fans, especially because my spouse was with me and really couldn't tell what the difference was between the teams. So it was also really surprising to be in the audience and see which teams got the kind of lukewarm reception from the audience or who got more, kind of jolted upwards. Now, the crowd was excellent, and many skaters had commented that the Boston crowd was generally, very excitable and just really supportive of the skaters, and that really was nice to see. I have to say, it really kind of felt like the Super Bowl of the figure skating world, and it's nice when you have such an outgoing, upbeat crowd. I'm sure the skaters, felt more at ease with that too. So it was just really nice to see that part of it. But we'll get more into that and all my thoughts. So let's go ahead and start with the top 10. All right, this was probably the easiest prediction to make out of the 4 disciplines prior to Worlds. With no real big shocker, we have Chock and Bates winning the ice dance competition, getting their 3rd world title and doing it in front of a home crowd. Chock and Bates truly did rise to the occasion. A lot of people had asked me online, did their performance seem, was it received as well in person as it seemed to be online? And yes, it did. I think Chock and Bates definitely skated probably the best performance of this program from the whole season, in my opinion. I think that they were really dialed in, and, there was just a cleanliness and kind of, just a higher tech content between the top teams. They definitely had the highest tech of any team, and, that really benefited them immensely in their free dance. They were first in both segments of the competition, though, and that includes in components and in technical elements. So they were just really kind of the team to beat here, and it made it interesting because second place finishers Gillis and Poirier, who we'll talk about right now, had stated that their goal was really to come out on top and get first place. They truly had a shot here. I mean, they did a great job between the 2 competitions. They were coming off a Four Continents win, and I mean, their world's track record speaks for itself. Before Boston, they had never they had never finished below fifth place, and have won bronze twice, and were silver medalists from last year as well. So they had a true, a true hold on possibly getting first place. I'm sure they probably kind of knew with the Worlds being in the US that it was a little harder, maybe more difficult, just with a slight hometown advantage, if you do, believe in that. But I really do think that Chalk and Bates edged them out by the slimmest of margins, and that was reflected in the scores. Chalk and Bates won by about 6 points, so that's a pretty big margin actually in ice dance. But I really do think that Chalk and Bates gave some of their best performances of the season, and that was shown especially in their rhythm dance, where they got a season's best score of 90 points. So definitely really fun to see Gilles and Poirier. I really enjoyed them live. They truly stand out amongst the pack, and the reason why is just the quality in their skating. I really like their free dance. I think it's different. It's kind of weird in a really good way. So I don't mean that they're weird. I just mean that it's just a strange compilation of songs, and I love their outfits. The new dress that Gilles has had for a few competitions now has grown on me. I think it's nice. I still prefer the earlier version in the season. I don't think it's different enough to really warrant the change, but I always like when people change the costumes for Worlds. I think it just adds something special to the competition, whether that just be adding a few details to an older costume or switching it up completely with a new one like she did. So really fun to see them here. They should be so proud. Okay, was this the shock of the competition for anyone else? Fear and Gibson of Great Britain got a bronze medal. I was reading that it was the first medal for Great Britain in ice dance since Torvill and Dean from either the 90s or 80s, or I don't know. I know it was a very long time ago. Wow, I didn't realize it had been so long for Great Britain. I hadn't even realized that Fear and Gibson hadn't been on the podium before at Worlds. I really thought they had. But when I looked kind of more deeper into their scores, they hadn't. And it was really nice to see them do so well. Now, granted, they got sixth place in the free dance. So their free dance wasn't scored as high, comparatively. And I think that was fair. I don't think that their, free dance was exactly my taste. I never really enjoyed it this season. I'm looking forward to something new. But their rhythm dance is really what saved them here. They were third in the rhythm dance, and that held them, that gave them enough of a cushion over fourth place finishers. This was even a real shock to me as well. Guinard and Fabri of Italy. Oh my goodness. If I have a video, I'll put of Charlene Guinard in the kiss and cry when they got their scores. She was so pissed. And honestly, I kind of think for good reason. However, you know what I realized? So I love their costumes in the free dance. I saw it live. It was very entertaining, and the costumes really sparkled. They were so pretty. I think they may have added more silver sparkle to the costumes since earlier in the season when they changed it. But I really think the program was too left field. I think the music really didn't go well live, and my spouse, who again is not really a fan of figure skating, was like, that was weird, that wasn't fun or enjoyable. And they kind of skated it robotically because the music calls for that. It's almost like they are robots, and because of that, I think the energy had to be a lot higher. I think they had to get people clapping or really engage the audience, and unfortunately they got fourth place in both segments of the competition. This was probably the biggest shock for me, just because I really do think their skating quality is a lot better than Fear and Gibson. I think they hold deeper edges. I think they're more in sync, but again, I just think the material really held them down. I'm hoping that they will regroup for next season and really come out strong. Okay, this was also a shock. You know what? I guess ice dance was a little more shocking to me than I thought it would be. Carrera and Ponomarenko getting personal bests in both segments of the competition. Also, their overall score. I don't think they've broken 200 all season. They got 204.88. Ooh, I have my thoughts about this. I do think that their free dance was the best version and performance of it I've seen this year. I think especially Christina really emoted a lot more and brought more of the fire that is required of the performance. I still think they skated to this song too early in their career. I think both of them, I just think so she's so muted on the ice and he's so goofy, for lack of a better word, that I think they're not like in sync with their performance quality. And I think they got closer to that here. And so while I don't think they should be ahead of Lajoie and Lagha, or even honestly Smart and Deke, who made a huge stride here as well, and the judges rewarded them, but we'll get to that. Honestly, maybe even Lopareva and Brissot. I thought Carrera and Panamarenko would be like maybe 7th or 8th, but the judges really held them up. They got personal bests here, and, that's ice dance for you. It doesn't always make sense, in my opinion, but I am happy for them, and they truly do put in the work, so it's not like they don't deserve it. They surely do, but I'm just not sure that these scores are exactly reflective of their skating where they're at the moment. So their judges were definitely sending a message. They're going to be the next top team maybe or two once Chuck and Bates leave from the US. So Carrera and Panamarenko are kind of next in line, so to speak. And I hate that terminology anyways. I think the best skaters should win, no matter if they're in line or not. But unfortunately, I think they were pushed a little bit here. I can hardly contain my excitement for the next team. This is one of my top moments of Worlds, like overall, of everything I saw live. Smart and Deke's Dune Long program, their free dance was just so beautiful. They got personal bests in the rhythm dance and in the free dance. They were 3rd in the free dance, so they got a small medal for that, and the judges finally rewarded them. They had been hovering in the 190s for quite a while, but they got a personal best score of 200.92. I absolutely love this couple. They are so charismatic. I think Olivia is such a special skater, and I really think that Deke is a really good partner for her. He really matches her intensity. They were hugging and putting their heads close together before the dance and just really in the zone. I think this meant a lot to them to perform so well here. And to finally see the judges reward them, I think was absolutely excellent. However, it came at the expense of our 7th place finalists, which we'll go over next. And for next year, you guys, it's like, I know that they need to change their program because, well, I guess you don't have to. They could keep the Dune program, but I sort of think that would be a mistake. I think it would be too much Dune at that point. Hear me out. How about Dune Part 2? They could do more of like, isn't there a tribe or a group in the movie that wears more like blue? Or like, I know their eyes turn blue when they drink that liquid, but I just think they could go like a different route and do almost like, I don't know, almost maybe like she could be like one of the great mothers or whatever they call them, and he could be like a fighter or something for her. I just think that there's different directions they could go, but I would love to see a new Dune with like similar kind of vibe and atmosphere, but a whole different approach. I don't know, just something to think about, and loved them here. What did you think of Smart and Deke? Okay, the 7th place breaks my heart, Lajoie and Lagha of Canada. They didn't get season's best or personal best in any segment. And I don't know, this was just heartbreaking to see. They definitely looked surprised by their scores. So I think they were expecting to be more like 5th place, 6th place. So almost like Carrera and Panamarenko's position, or maybe Smart and Deke. However, I think it was correct that Smart and Deke did better than them here. It just wasn't the overall best performance they've ever given. Unfortunately, they were 5th last year, and then they went down to 7th this year. So they've got to be a little disappointed. It wasn't the best performance of the free dance. It's strange because I think it records so well on video. When I watched their free dance, I loved it every single time. When I saw it live, I don't know, it was somehow lacking. It almost was like there was nothing wrong. Like they did really good elements and, got generally positive grades of execution. I know that on one of their kind of steps, their diagonal steps, she got only a level 2, so that maybe decreased their score a bit. But I mean, no major mistakes. It was just kind of off. I don't know how to describe it more than that. But even watching it live, I was kind of like, this isn't really it's not as captivating as it is on video. So I don't know what happened. I hope they'll regroup. I really, really love them. I mean, I would have them like top 3, top 4, but seventh place, a little disappointing, but I hope they shake it off and, think about what they're going to do for next year. I would love something similar in the vein of, The Sound of Silence. I think that type of music just really, really, they just sell it so well. So disappointed for them, but nonetheless, seventh place is none too shabby. Okay, in eighth place, we have Lopareva and Brissol getting a score of 194. I would say probably a little disappointing for them as well. Again, no major flaws that I could pick out or pinpoint live. They generally got good levels. On one of their footwork sequences, he only got a level 2, and on one of their spins, it was only a level 3. So I guess a little bit of work with the levels. One thing I'll say that I was kind of surprised by is I didn't like the free dance that much live either. Again, I think it videos a lot better than in person, and I have no idea why that is. It just, with some of the music, it was just a little, not strange, but it required quite a bit more performance live to really be pulled off and to engage the audience. So I was definitely surprised. But again, I mean, a top 10 finish, I mean, that is not bad at all. And I really, really hope that they think about their programs for next year. I mean, they were 8th last year as well. So it's not exactly the direction they want to go, but I still do think that they're going to be one of the teams in the next quad that are really going to be getting in those upper scores, especially as I kind of expect some of the more seasoned teams like possibly Guinard and Fabry and Chalk and Bates, maybe even Gillis and Poirier to retire after the Olympics, especially Guinard and Fabry. I think ending in a home country Olympics, I mean, what better is that? So we're going to go ahead and see what Lopareva and Brissol do next. Okay, in 9th place, my favorite U.S. team, we have Green and Parsons. They ended what was, I would consider, maybe a more difficult season with season's best in both segments. I'm so proud of them, getting 192.47 overall. Their free dance, was really interesting. I think it is very left field, which I know that they've done before and had great success with. The last time they were at Worlds wasn't since 2023, where they got 6th place. Here they were 9th. I mean, they didn't get personal bests or anything, but again, coming out with 2 strong performances that hopefully they are both very, very proud of, They're just such a good team. I really, really love them, and I just want to see them rise up even more. I don't know what it's going to take for them to become that kind of top 5 type team, which is what I believe they deserve. The content, I mean, I love that they went so different for the free dance. I do think it was very striking. They do some lifts that are just really, really beautiful. But something was off. I don't know if it was between the packaging and the music. Just didn't hit exactly right for me. So I really hope they regroup for the Olympics. I'm so excited to see what they cook up. They are such an interesting team. So great job to Green and Parsons. Rounding out the top 10, we have Davis and Smolkin of Georgia. This is Eteri Tudbaritsa's own daughter. I have to say I kind of like them more live than I thought. They did these kind of American type songs in the free dance and really revved up the crowd. The 10th place finish is an improvement from 12th at last year's Worlds. They skated to some Led Zeppelin songs, and it was just very rock and roll, and honestly, it was fun. I didn't mind it at all. I think that it really kind of amped up the crowd. It really kind of got everyone going, and it was just really fun to see. They're part of the IM crowd, so they are, part of the Montreal group, and this was an improvement for them. I don't think that they're rising up as fast as I'm sure her mother would like her to, but overall they did a good job here, and it was fun to see them. Up next, I'm going to go over some of my personal standouts. This was so sad. Turkila and Verslewis of Finland getting 20th place in the rhythm dance. They really, really had some struggles there. They had a fall on their step sequence, and even on the twizzle, she only got a level 2, One of their lifts got a level 1. So it was truly kind of just an honor that they even were able to make it to the free program. I mean, they were on the chopping block. If they had gotten one place lower, they wouldn't have made it. And actually, Reed and Ambrulivicius of Lithuania did not make it to the free dance, and that was kind of shocking as well. But there were so many teams. There were 36 teams in the rhythm dance vying for only 20 spots. So they actually skated so early in the free dance that I missed them because I got there kind of right when it was starting. So that was disappointing, but I just love Turkila and Versluis, and they rose all the way up to 11th place. So that is amazing. They were 7th in the free dance, and this is a team that's definitely going to be getting those top spots in future seasons. So I'm really excited to see what they do next. Okay, if you know my channel at all, you knew that I would shout them out. It's Mrazkova and Mrazek of Czech Republic. They are so very good. I just love them. They really bring something special to the ice. They have top tier packaging, and with Worlds being in their country next year, I think they're definitely going to break into the top 10. They have everything that they need. They're just a younger team, so they're going to be working out those kinks and kind of adding the quality into their programs and maybe a little more difficulty. But overall, truly love this team. They're so fun to watch. Okay, another brother-sister team, Tashlerova and Tashler. I really enjoyed them live. I was actually surprised they only got 13th here. I thought that they would be a little bit higher than that, but they have really good moves. They do a really cool lift where she's like vertical holding on to his skate, and it's just really beautiful skating. I really enjoy them, and the crowd I think really enjoyed them as well. So fun to see Tashlerova and Tashler, also of Czech Republic, with Worlds in their country next year. I'm sure that they're going to be looking to increase their score here. Okay, this team had a lot of power on the ice, and I loved their Phantom free dance. I miss Phantom of the Opera. I know it's a warhorse and has been beaten to death, but I just love it. I always think it translates so well live, and I thought they would get a little higher here, but we have von Rensburg and Stefan from Germany. They got a total score of 179.33 and got 16th place, but my goodness, I really enjoyed watching them here. They kind of stuck out to me, and I hadn't really noticed them before, so really fun to see them. And it didn't make a slide for it, but Harris and Chan from Australia, I think, were underscored. They had a really nice free dance. I enjoyed them immensely, and I think they had really good packaging as well. So those were just some personal standouts. Okay, you guys, my final thoughts about ice dance at Worlds. So it was so fun to see the free dances live. I really, really enjoyed it. I kind of wish I had also gone to the rhythm dance just because there were so many teams, 16 teams that didn't even make the free dance. Some things that surprised me were like Ren and Jing of China, Reed and Ambrulivicius. I was really surprised that they didn't make it. So just kind of sad that, some teams, also Yoshida and Morita of Japan, not making the free dance as well. I think the biggest surprises were the rising of Carrera and Ponomarenko to 5th place and the simultaneous kind of fall of Lajoie and Lagha. I think finally the judges rewarding Smart and Deke what they deserve was a big power point here. I was really disappointed that Guinard and Fabri of Italy could not podium here. I thought for sure they would be 3rd. I don't really know. I guess really honestly the rhythm dance just mattered a lot because Fear and Gibson got 3rd there. They had enough of a buffer where they were able to take 3rd place by less than a point. So I guess that's what called it. I mean, skating in general is a score of tenths, kind of like gymnastics. And so, you can do really well in one segment, but if not the other, you can lose by a fraction of a point. And just kind of disappointing, especially with the Olympics being in Italy. I thought for sure Guinard and Fabri would be held up by the judges, but they in fact were not. I think other teams were more fairly scored, like such as Green and Parsons getting in the top 10. Lopareva and Brissot, I think, landed where they should. And then I really liked seeing Turkila and Versluis make such a comeback, getting 7th in the free dance when they were 20th, almost not making the free dance here. I mean, that would have been even bigger shocker if they did not make it. And unfortunately, we had to sacrifice Reed and Amber Lovisius to get them there. So overall, I think it was a good event. I don't think it was too surprising with the final results, save for maybe bronze. But I do think that Chalk and Bates were expected to win, and they were able to do that here. What did you guys think of Ice Dance? I want to go ahead and make a video about ideas for programs for next year. So what are some ideas you have for these skaters? What kind of packaging do you want to see? What type of themes do you want? What type of music? Do you want us to stray away from some music, maybe fewer Dune programs? Let me know in the comments below. This was so fun to do with you. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and thank you so much as always for watching my channel. This has been a beautiful season of figure skating, and we're going to cap it off with the World Team Trophy coming up in a few weeks. So over and out, this is Kelly Commentates.